So do you remember this guy right here? Right? You remember, this guy. Okay. Well, that's George Santos, the disgraced former New York congressman who might be the most documented fraudster in recent American political history. And if you don't remember him, okay, he was sentenced to more than 7 years in prison after pleading guilty to wire fraud and aggravated identity theft. Santos fabricated basically his entire life story, his education, his employment, his upbringing, all of it. He was expelled from Congress in 2023, making him just the sixth representative ever to be expelled, and the first to be expelled without being convicted of a crime at the time. Last week, Trump commuted his sentence. Yes, that is correct. The congressman who fabricated his entire life and stole from his own donors to get to leave, he gets to leave prison early because Trump just wee wikes him. Trump announced the commutation on Truth Social Friday night, calling Santos, quote, somewhat of a rogue, which is like calling the Cybertruck somewhat flammable. Santos was released from federal correctional institution in Fairton, New Jersey, and if I had to guess what he's doing now, I'd say he's out shopping, probably for new set dressings for a podcast. Trump's justification for commuting Santos' sentence? He compared Santos to Democratic Senator Richard Blumenthal. Now, 15 years ago, let me repeat that. 15 years ago, Blumenthal admitted he misspoke about serving in Vietnam. Blumenthal did serve 6 years in the Marine Reserve starting in 1970, but didn't serve overseas. He exaggerated his service record, which is bad, and he apologized for it. Trump wrote, this is far worse than what George Santos did, and at least Santos had the courage, conviction, and intelligence to always vote Republican. So let me just be clear about what Trump is comparing here, okay? On one side, you have a senator who exaggerated his military service 15 years ago and faced political consequences. And on the other side, a congressman who fabricated his entire resume, lied about where he worked, where he went to school, what his family background was, and stole hundreds of thousands of dollars from his campaign donors through wire fraud. But Santos voted Republican, so apparently wire fraud is fine. That's the bar now. Steal from your own supporters, but as long as you vote the right way, you're golden. This makes sense, coming from the man whose family continues to defraud literal charities. And Santos isn't even the only controversial person that Trump has pardoned or commuted during his second term. The list is genuinely more wild and batshit crazy than you would expect. In January, Trump issued a blanket pardon to roughly 1,500 people charged with crimes related to the January 6th Capitol attack. People who assaulted police officers, people who broke into the Capitol building, people who were part of a violent attempt to overturn an election. They were pardoned. In May, he pardoned Todd and Julie Chrisley, the reality TV couple who were convicted of federal fraud charges because I guess committing fraud and liking Trump is a get-out-of-jail-free card. He also pardoned Rod Blagojevich, the former Illinois governor who tried to sell Barack Obama's vacant Senate seat. Trump actually commuted his sentence during his first term, so this is round 2 of helping out a guy who literally tried to auction off a Senate seat. Oh, and just really quickly, we should probably talk about the Diddy part.
What is the date? What is the date today? I completely,
Thursday. Yeah.
Thursday.
The 20th.
I was completely wrong, wasn't I?
You were.
I had the dates wrong.
Yeah.
All this time. Diddy, come on out.
I'm sorry if you had to see that man's face. Now, Sean P. Diddy Combs was convicted in July on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. He was acquitted on the more serious charges of racketeering and sex trafficking, but was sentenced to 50 months in prison, fined $500,000, and given 5 years of supervised release, none of which are enough for Diddy's crimes. Let me make that perfectly clear. But on Monday, TMZ reported that Trump was vacillating on commuting Diddy's sentence as soon as this week, citing a high-ranking White House official. Now, the White House immediately pushed back, saying there is zero truth to the TMZ report and calling it fake news. They claimed TMZ never even reached out for comment. TMZ responded by saying, no, we stand by our story. So who's telling the truth? Well, we don't know. But here's what we do know. Diddy's lawyers have confirmed they've been pursuing a pardon. And Trump has already commented on this publicly. Back in August, Trump was asked about potentially pardoning Diddy in a Newsmax interview.
John Diddy Combs,
Right.
would you consider pardoning him?
Well, he was essentially, I guess, sort of half innocent.
Yes.
I don't know what they do. He's still in jail or something, but he was celebrating a victory, but he seems, I guess it wasn't as good as a victory. Probably, I was very friendly with him. I got along with him great, and seemed like a nice guy. I didn't know him well. But when I ran for office, he was very hostile.
He said some not so nice things about you, sir.
Yeah, and
Yes.
it's hard, like you, we're human beings.
Right.
And we don't like to have things cloud our judgment, right? But when you knew someone and you were fine, and then you run for office and he made some terrible statements. So I don't know, it's more difficult. It makes it more, I'm being honest, it makes it more difficult to do.
But more likely a no for Combs,
I would
sounds
say
like?
so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Trump's position on whether to pardon someone convicted of sex crimes comes down to, well, did they say nice things about me? This really can go either way. On the one hand, Trump adores sexual criminals like himself, but on the other hand, he hates doing favors for people who've badmouthed him. Now, I'm sure the conservatives watching are thinking about this critically, and they're going, well, I think it is important to know, will Trump do this? Hey, thanks for watching this short segment of the Weekly Dump, our weekly news and discussion show. You want to watch the full episode? You can click it over here on the side, or you can click and watch our podcast, Critical Mass. Remember to follow us here at Red Mirror Media for your daily dose of leftist content.